Way back in the first episode, I called this anime Gunpla Art Online. I took it a step further in the second episode by referring to the way they exchange contact information as Gunpla Plus. And now we have Gunstagram. That's not my joke, that's the show. Momo is super excited to tell Nanami about this special women's-only event in GBN. It's a race where you use your GBN avatar, which means either GBN scans your overall physical fitness, or, and this is the theory I'm going with, it's another case of mind over matter. In GBN, you're only as strong as you think you are. Since this is a special event, the reward isn't something simple like build coins. Now that we have Nanami's motivation, we head on over to GBN, where we see that Nanami's avatar is ridiculous. Supposedly this is based on a Federation pilot suit, but I think it looks like the old MS girls. Yes, this is a real thing. Take the mobile suits and turn them into moe anime characters. A more recent example would be Super Fumina.
Oh yeah? Jump no tokoro no. Kyou wa image ga aru meyate kai? Sonna mono ni kyoumi wa arimasen. Demo the
main conflict for this episode is the rivalry between Rose and Amelia. Rose has the same motivation as Nanami. She wants to become the image girl so she can be famous. Amelia's motivations are a bit more personal, as explained in the flashback. Amelia second-guessing her choice in earrings is essentially the idea of, I'm too old for this, but in a good way.
Emilia-san. Oh. Emilia-san.
I want to make it very clear, it's not like she asked for his opinion. No, Karuna just walks over there, puts his foot in his mouth, and walks away. Translation: I'll show you who's too old, even though you never actually said that. And with that, it's about time to start the race, which is being run by a Haro in a mech suit. And that's when he tells them they're all getting free jewelry! I'm serious, every participant gets commemorative earrings. And with that, the race begins, and Nanami falls over because she wasn't paying attention. That's kind of funny, and keeping with this whole idea that this is her first time in GBN, she doesn't even realize that you don't feel pain, Momo has to tell her. This race has different stages with different checkpoints, and a secret hidden bonus item. The first checkpoint is build your own Gunpla in virtual reality. And whatever Gunpla you choose, you get to keep as a memento of the event. Rose chooses a Sazabi because it's a Gunpla she always wanted, and Amelia chooses a Haro because it can be built quickly. That's clever, and it opens up some interesting story potential, which for the most part the episode doesn't really take advantage of, but it does lead to this funny scene. Well, Rose, now you gotta finish that whole Gundam model kit, all by yourself. Amelia finishes her Gunpla first, but she stays behind to help Nanami. Rose finishes her Gunpla and stays behind to help Sarah, but I should probably clarify what these two consider helping. I'm sorry, I'm not worthy of the Gundam franchise. I'll never buy any merchandise again. Seriously, don't be that elitist telling people you're doing it wrong. Rose and Amelia are closing the distance in the swimming portion, but now it's time for the next checkpoint. Take pictures of Gunpla for social media. After a little montage of Gundam references, it's time to continue the race. Ominous Glitch Storm is ominous. During the race, Sarah senses something's wrong, so Nanami goes with her to investigate, and we find a Zacharilo stuck under a rock. Even though Sarah's also helping, Nanami is the only one who gets rewarded with the special bonus item for the event. Now it's time for the next checkpoint, where Rose and Amelia are just told, choose a Gunpla. Rose chooses a very powerful mobile armor, and it turns out this event is Gunpla Sumo. And the only way to move on is to win a sumo match. So obviously all the other contestants have an easy opponent, and Rose is just kinda stuck here. The only reason she's able to move on is because someone else's Gunpla broke the ring, so they had to cancel this portion of the event. Now it's time for the glitches to ruin the race, and by extension the episode. There was going to be a vehicle portion, but the glitches destroyed the vehicles. This also knocks out communication, and that's when Rose thinks that maybe the point of this was that they have to finish the race with their Gunpla. No, not the Gunpla that they built in the first checkpoint. That would actually be interesting. No, they're just gonna use the same Gunpla they've always been using.
私も作りたい。私も作ってみたい。みんなみたいに自分だけの機体を作って乗ってみたい。
Nanami deciding that she likes GBN and wants to build her own Gunpla is fine, but they're in GBN right now. Nanami can build a Gunpla in the real world, but you can't just build a Gunpla virtually in GBN, except they just did that in this episode. Virtual Gunpla are a perfect explanation for the trainer GMs in Tiger's Force, and they could serve the same function in this episode as rental Gunpla did for Momo. Instead, we get the characters standing around looking at all these destroyed vehicles going, we could build something for Nanami if only we had the plot device.
でもそんな超レアアイテムが都合よく手に入るなんてこと。
ひょっとしてこれ？
それ
At least the episode acknowledges how silly this is. And of course everybody stays behind to help Nanami build her vehicle. So now that that's taken care of, we can resume the race. After checking the instant replay, it seems that all the characters with names crossed the finish line at the exact same time, so everybody wins!
レース中にガンプラおよびオリジナルのバイクに乗ることは反則になりますので全員失格となります。
ちょっとあなたが適当なこと言い出したからでしょ。
Getting disqualified for using a Gunpla is one thing, but Nanami was just using the tools that were provided by the event. Everything is here for this to be a story about kindness being rewarded. Instead, the chairman decides that it's going to be an 11-way tie between all the characters that actually have names. What a coincidence! Commemorative photo!
だけど負けられない。気恥ずかしくて言えやしないけど。ちょっとやってみたいんだ。イメージがあるってやつをさ。
The idea that some of these contestants want to be the image girl, but don't want other people to know that they want to be the image girl, has interesting story potential, and there are moments in the episode that explore that, but I prefer Sarah's approach.
イメージがあるって何？え？サラちゃん知らないでエントリーしたの？みんなが楽しそうだったから。
Let's just have fun, because this is an episode about Nanami's first time in GBN, and showing Sarah's powers and how they're connected to the glitches. I like the way the checkpoints used the Gunpla as actual model kits in unique ways as part of the challenges. The problem is, after that's done, it turns into, oh, we have to survive the glitches! Again, another glitch episode! And then everybody wins because we couldn't decide!
お、エミリアさん。
どう？私だって
ちょうどよかった。渡したいものがあったんすよ。
Yes, Karuna bought her some new earrings, even though she was just admiring the ones she got from the race. And his reasoning for this is priceless.
この前も思ったんすけど、エミリアさん、可愛い系より大人っぽい方が似合うと思って、ちょうどポイントが余ってたんで交換してきました。
Aw, I guess Karuna really does care. Amelia's embarrassed because she misinterpreted what he said and then she entered that competition, and the picture is right behind her.
あれ、エミリアさん映ってる。
違うのこれは。
へえ、そういうの興味あったんすね。
そういうわけじゃ。
Overall, this episode doesn't seem like it lived up to its potential, but I can still laugh at some of the funny things that happen. This is the Hypervisor signing off.